you for having us at our very last act.
Now honestly, you wanted to do something impactful.
She wanted to move you with her words.
They could talk politics,
racism,
the economy,
the selfless pursuit for identity,
feelings of being torn between generations,
her parents,
his grandparents,
the hyphen between the words Filipino and American,
unfairness,
injustice,
pain,
natural disaster,
heritage,
the origin of her name.
But no. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the time because he's consumed with thoughts of what to do next.
She asks herself what else she could have done.
Who he could have talked to.
What classes she should have taken.
Because he feels an immense amount of pressure to do everything he should have done right now.
I have to submit my research proposal.
I have a huge marketing project.
I have to run this organization.
I have to make it my career
I have
contract.
to fundraise $2,000.
I have to graduate.
I have to wash my underwear.
I have to get a job.
I have to change my attitude.
I have to be a role model.
I have to
I have to be
figure
successful.
out what I'm doing. I have to love my
right. I have to be great. I have to accept reality. Are they overworking themselves? Tough.
Why didn't they have the time to write this piece?
Because he got lost in his over-involved high school mentality of stretching himself out so thin that he became translucent if you held him up to the light.
Because she thought it was her duty to get as involved as she could in all the things she was passionate about.
Or could be passionate about.
And sacrifice something she should have focused on. Herself.
Why didn't he have time to write this piece?
Or like, why didn't she have time to eat dinner?
He was so busy driving back and forth that he didn't brush his teeth.
Or take a shower? But she slept on her desk. She doesn't have the time because she hasn't made the time.
Has he even made time for his family?
She wonders if she doesn't have the time because she's avoiding conflict or sadness or pain.
Because he's focusing too much on how to get away.
Because her vision for herself is miles and miles from this place.
Because he doesn't want to be here.
You run so quickly that you forget to pause.
Breathe.
Why are you doing all of this?
I don't want to admit it, but it's because I'm worried.
I've been keeping myself busy, non-stop busy, always on the go, moving from one place to another, confused when people mention the word boredom because I'm not quite sure what that feels like.
I'm worried that in the end I wasn't who you thought I was. That I'm not special.
Why am I doing all this? Why am I pushing myself to my absolute limits? I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm inadequate.
That I'm a disappointment despite the fact that I am the anchor of your dreams because you expected so much out of me. Because I should be the reward for your sacrifices.
That's my biggest fear. That despite all you've done for me, I'm not good enough.
So what do? I make myself busy. I convince myself that I'm doing something worthwhile. That I must be good at everything.
Why am I doing all this? Because I put myself in a vulnerable position where my future isn't set, where keeping myself busy is the only way to deal with uncertainty, with shame, with inadequacy, with myself.
I don't want to fail. I don't want to lose. I cannot let you see that. Would you be devastated? I don't want to know.
That is why I'm busy. That is why we run.
I move so quickly that I've pushed you aside. I've forgotten to ask how you are. I didn't notice you were hurting. I couldn't read between the lines. I ignored the sadness in your eyes. I didn't know.
I'm sorry I didn't visit. I'm sorry I wrapped myself up so tightly in my individual pursuits that I forgot why I was here in the first place. I'm sorry for greeting when only convenient, for missing the kids growing up. I'm sorry for forgetting you won't always be there.
That we won't always be here. In order to make time for you, I realize I have to make time for myself. Because in all this running around, I forgot. I've been so selfish. I didn't know.
But this isn't a piece about regret.
This isn't a piece about complaint.
This is a piece about myself.
About heartache.
About you. This piece is about how we are constantly running towards some metaphorical finish line.
A great professor once told me that it's fine to want to do everything at once. It's classic overachiever syndrome.
But I've learned that sometimes to get ahead, you have to go back. So take that step back.
Look at where you've come from.
Appreciate how much it's enriched you.
And then look forward. As long as we make time for each other and ourselves, we will not be lost. Thank you.